Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to a Sunday afternoon. It is in the winter and it is quite gloomy outside. It is drizzling. It's been drizzling for the past 2 days. Fortunately, I watched my what's it called, alma mater, University of Texas, lose the SEC championship to Georgia. They're the only team that's beat us this whole year, and they beat us twice. It's quite sad, and I hope that we are going to face them off again in the playoffs and beat them. Very heavily and win the championship. So go Horns! I'm rooting for you guys for sure. If you guys are UT fans, please comment below or like the video. And of course, love to hear from you. Today, I will be talking about this book. It's a pretty quick read, to be honest. The reason why is because these pages are really small. This book is probably 7 inches by 4 inches, so it's a quick read. Very straightforward. And to be honest, I did skip through a lot of the statistical analysis that Bogle did because I honestly, I just believed everything he said. I didn't need him to prove to me that what he said is in fact true to his research. I did make some notes. It is a pretty good amount. I did look through the notes to kind of review what I was going to talk about today. It's really is the complete book about index funds. If you did individual stock picking, and at some point in time you may not have an ability to find a stock that is undervalued or suiting to your needs to properly diversify your portfolio or concentrate your portfolio. Index funds are an option that you could look into. As well as the bond market, and bond funds, index funds. But he does differentiate a lot of things in this book, such as the traditional index funds, TIFs, and then electronically or exchange traded funds, ETFs. There's actually 2 different types of index funds. I didn't know that. But he does kind of talk about what to look for in an index fund, such as, low cost, the sectors it covers. Bogle, honestly, he suggests a low-cost index fund that invests in the entire stock market. I think a good example would be a Vanguard fund, the VTI Vanguard fund. You might want to look into that. So it's a very interesting book that talks about index funds. It does also touch upon mutual funds as well as what's it called? I forgot what they're called, like managed funds, I guess. Basically where you're relying on a person to do the work. And in the end, he's telling me that you don't need to hire a personal finance broker to help you invest in the stock market, because what they're trying to beat in general is the stock market. So what he's suggesting is you might as well just invest in an index fund that follows the stock market, rather than trusting somebody with your money to try and beat it. Because what he's saying statistically in his book is that these people never beat the stock market. They always end up losing money due to tax implications, and of course having to always constantly trade. So their fees and taxes always take away from the value of the investment, whereas traditional index funds, they are in it for the long term, and then they are tax efficient and low cost. Which was his argument in his book. And of course, he talks about the different types of index funds. Maybe not everybody wants to do an investment in the entire stock market. Maybe they just want to do real estate, or maybe they're retiring soon, so they need the target date funds, indexes, things like that. So it's a really good book. It really did complete my, I guess, kind of what I feel would be my education in stocks and bonds. If you are wondering what I read before, you can just look at my playlist. Those books are kind of what led me up to this book. I feel like after reading this book, I'm very well-rounded in my stock type of investing, as well as bond investing. I am a big fan of the Warren Buffett strategy, and Warren Buffett also is a big fan of the Bogle strategy. So it's really nice to be able to not only invest in single stocks, but to also invest in traditional index funds And better yet, it's good to be able to only invest in a few traditional index funds. You don't have to, go crazy and find every single type of index fund out there and research. What Jack Bogle is saying is just get to the one. It's the best ones are the ones that cover the entire stock market. I like this book. He is a founder of Vanguard, so of course I'm very biased towards Vanguard index funds. So those are the ones I typically look at. Something that he also talks about is dividends. Because he was saying that index funds are long-term investments for the most part. So you want to pick ones that may have higher dividends and low costs. That's what I did. I looked at just the Vanguard funds, and I'm not a professional finance, whatever they're called, licensed SEC person, so I can't really talk too much about what you should put your money into. But I personally like Vanguard index funds. He is trying to basically market his index funds as well. And this book is just a good book. It's a great book, quick read. If you don't really know much about index funds, great book to read. I personally, like I said, I like to stock pick. But there comes a time when you're kind of there's just not many stocks anymore to pick, and you still want to invest. So an index fund would be a choice. But other than that, it's a really quick read. I don't know what to say. It's a good book. It's very well rounded, and I feel highly more educated after reading this book. To know where to allocate funds, and things like that. But I hope you read this book. It is, I think, one of the classics that is mentioned by tons of investors and any type of broker. I believe any type of stockbroker or mutual fund manager, if they've never heard of this book, they probably aren't telling you the truth. They probably just don't want you to. They probably just don't want to lose your business. They don't want you to become the investor that doesn't need them. So highly recommend. But I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.